Welcome to the 30th Annual Great Debate. Tonight, the teams will be arguing the contention that we should turn off the internet. On the affirmative, we have Phil Wang, Rhys, Nicholson and Rosie, Waterland. And for the negative, we have Felicity Ward, Tom Allen and Aaron Chen. All under the watchful eye of our moderator, Claire Hooper. It's the Great Debate.
Good evening, nerds. Tonight, we will battle the greatest villain of all, the World Wide Web, and decide, should we turn off the internet? Now, if you've ever been on the internet, and you have, you'll know that we are likely to see some absolute degeneracy on stage tonight. So before we begin, we'd just like to check that everyone is over 18. Don't tell me, just check the box, please. Great, thank you. Interesting fact, in the entire history of the internet, no one has ever clicked no. So, my friends, in a moment, 6 of the best comedians who returned our calls will take to the lectern to help you decide once and for all whether the internet is the best or the worst thing that has happened to the world. Finally, the team leaders will summarise and I will let you decide by a round of applause whether I should plunge the globe into chaos. And looking at you, I can guess which side you're going for. I mean, look, you haven't left the house in weeks. You have all come to suckle at the great nipple of Steve Jobs, to worship at the temple of Zuckerberg. You probably all booked your tickets online in your only non-incognito tab. Don't get me wrong, love the internet, I use it. Bought these shoes online. I booked my Uber here online. I even met my husband online. No, I didn't, obviously. But it's so embarrassing. It's so embarrassing in this day and age to admit that you were desperate enough to talk to someone at a bar. I even bought this cat online. I thought I was buying Grumpy Cat, but you know, she actually seems quite happy now she's out of the postal tube. I thought she should be here to witness this. After all, cats are the spirit animal of the internet. The internet is 51% cats, and the other 49% is pussy. The internet has a lot in common with cats. No matter how much devotion you give, it will never love you back. It remembers everything bad you've ever done. If it's on your computer, you're not getting any work done. And you never know when you're going to be confronted by a puckered asshole. Just going to put JK meowing down. So should we turn off the internet? On the one hand, it's bad for you. You know it is. Studies have shown that the internet is addictive. Smartphone addicts wander the streets like an alcoholic looking for bars. Social media increases our sense of anxiety and social isolation. I mean, the crippling depression you experience when you get no likes on your tweet about your crippling depression. The internet is making us sedentary. The internet is why we have standing desks and treadmill desks, which exist, and sex desks, which don't exist, but probably will someday. Thanks to the internet, you can contact your family from the other side of the world, completely ruining the point of being on the other side of the world. Sure, we can get any information we want at the click of a button, but that button is opening a Facebook notification and just checking it for 5 minutes before we get onto the treatment for deadly snakebite. You cannot trust the internet. Where else can you publish content that is not fact-checked, not annotated, no quoted reference material? Where else can you make wildly unsubstantiated claims? Where else but comedy festival debates and the internet? The internet, my friends, is a sewer. Although that's unfair, because at least a sewer takes shit out of your life. What has the internet given us? It's given us selfies, clickbait, Snapchat, trolls, social influencers, and YouTube stars. It's given us poor sleep, poor posture, poor social skills, eye strain, carpal tunnel syndrome, erectile dysfunction, vitamin D deficiency, a host of new mental illnesses, Dr. Google, and a measles resurgence. It's given us data breaches, identity theft, fake account, fake news, fake nudes, new fetishes, short attention spans, and YOLO. Oh, you only live once, do you? Well, better spend that time in the darkness, leaning into the bright glow of your screen, eating food you've ordered on the internet, while you plan and post your funeral playlist on Spotify, forgetting to make sure that there's actually anyone in the world who knows where you live so they can find your body when the moment arrives to press play on Jeff Buckley's Hallelujah. YOLO. But on the other hand, the internet has given us this. It was all worth it. All right, let's get started. I'll be your internet chat room moderator for the event. Each speaker has 10 minutes. At 8 minutes, you will hear a bell. And then at 10 minutes, I will remove the offending post. And I'll tell you one great thing about the internet, it sure makes it easy to write intros for speakers. I mean, one quick Google and you have everything you need to know. The first speaker for the affirmative won Chortle Student Comedian of the Year in 2010, and since then has appeared all over UK TV and on stand-up stages all over the world. But then, he's always been an international kind of guy. According to the internet, he was born to an English mother, a Chinese Malay father, and a Spanish mother. Phil Wang, everyone.
Thank you, Claire. This is for you, Mama. Good evening. Or, as an average user of the internet might say, OMG crying. This nighttime game is lit, and I'm literally dead that you all are here for it. Yeet. The internet has many names. The World Wide Web, the Information Superhighway, Earth.com, Telephone TV, Grandparents Lament. It is called many things, but its mission is one and the same: to destroy the human race and sell me dick pills. The beginnings of the web were innocent enough, invented by Sir Tim Berners-Lee, the Nerd Knight, in 1991 at the CERN Particle Physics Lab in Switzerland, to allow scientists to communicate with each other and gossip about which atoms were sleeping with which, who was going to take hydrogen to the prom, and which electrons had had plastic surgery. But for something that started out as a means of sharing photographs, recipes, and staying in touch with friends, the internet is now unrecognizable. When was the last time you saw a pal's photograph of some food? Exactly, never. The internet is now just GIFs of terrorists flossing. The internet has failed at everything it was meant to provide. It promised us knowledge, but people are dumber than ever before. Far from the enlightened age the net was meant to usher in, we now live in an era of fake news. Because of the internet, misinformation now spreads like wildfire. The village idiot has not been educated, he has been given a megaphone. A terrifying recent study found that 92% of all news stories online are either mostly or entirely untrue. 92%. Now, that was a lie, but you see how easily you believe it? You fell for that hook, line, and sinker. This is what the internet is doing to us. We've all become gullible slugs, desperate to swallow any clickbait salt pellet we're offered, that we might shrivel and die in scandalous, ignorant pleasure. The internet promised us company, but has made my generation one of the loneliest in history. This is the first conversation I've had today. Dating apps promised us a whole new world of sex and romance at our fingertips, but have instead merely given us one more way of demeaning ourselves on the toilet. How do I do on dating apps, you ask? Let's just say, badly. And it's not for lack of trying. I'm on all of them. Tinder, Bumble, Happen, Pure, Hinge, Hugger, Slurp, Splayed, Squish, Slap, Shrunk, Squiff, Please, Love Goblins, Shove It Up My App, Asian dating, Caucasian dating, Christian mingle, Muslim meetup, Buddhist bang buddies. Even the Amish dating app. How did you get this? You're not supposed to have a phone.com. And not a single match. The internet simply does not work. It promised to bring us together, but has only driven us apart. Online discourse is a fucking zoo. Toxic doesn't begin to describe it. Only the bloody Nazis are back. Nazis! Scattered after the Second World War, they have found each other again online, like an anti-Semitic friends reunited. But the web's fertile breeding ground for fascism should be no surprise. The clues have been there from the start. Remember this. The soundtrack of a decade. What mysterious bleeps and bloops, we thought. Charming and harmless. A robotic welcome dance greeting us at the gates of our exciting new future. But have you ever tried playing it backwards? The results may shock you.
Meine Arbeit für Richtiges. Ob du glaubst, dass ich fleißig gewesen bin, dass ich gearbeitet habe, dass ich mich in diesem Jahr für dich eingesetzt habe, dass ich anständig meine Zeit verwendet habe im Dienste meines Volkes. Gib du jetzt deine Stimme ab. Wenn ja, dann tritt für mich ein, so wie ich für dich eingesetzt bin.
You've got mail.
Truly chilling. And it's not just the far right that has got out of hand. On the other end of the political spectrum, the internet has given rise to a pandering, constrictive identity politics that has taken tokenism to a dangerous and divisive new level. I mean, just look at this stage tonight. There isn't a single straight white man up here. Just us freaks. Social justice has finally gone too far. In the name of internet-led wokeness, the Melbourne Comedy Festival has tonight failed in its duty to represent straight white males, who are, by my approximation, 86% of the Australian population. Yes, we are all keyboard warriors now, aren't we? But our silicon heroism rarely translates into real-world valor. Did you know that since the arrival of the internet, we have won 0 world wars? Pathetic. Our digital addiction has instead turned us into an army of zombies, our glazed eyes only ever lifting from our screens to search for a Wi-Fi password, that we might continue filling cyberspace with emojis, tiny yellow replacements for the feelings we've forgotten. To see what lives we are missing out on, we need only look to a country that has outright banned the internet and is reaping the rewards every day. North Korea. No one in North Korea has internet. And just look how happy they are. They go outdoors. They exercise. Without the distractions of the internet, North Koreans are capable of incredible, almost superhuman feats. According to their state media, Kim Jong-un could drive when he was 3 years old. His father, Kim Jong-il, wrote more than 1,500 books and bowled a perfect 300-point game the first time he went bowling. And it isn't just North Korea. In 2011, Egypt shut down its internet for 2 days during its revolution. And look what they have now. The pyramids. The Sphinx. The Mummy franchise. These are the sorts of achievements we should celebrate as a species. But what does the internet reward instead? With shares and clicks, what goes viral? Stupid videos people like me make in their Melbourne hotel room last Saturday, parodying a Tom Hiddleston vitamin advert. Careful.
Hey.
Hey, get out!
Morning.
Where'd you get that apron from? The fuck is that?
I finished early, so thought I'd pop back and make you breakfast.
Finished early? It's 6 a.m. What do you do? Ugh. Are those blackberries?
Pepper on top, right?
Forget pepper, there's blackberries in there.
Oh, 还有你的香椿.
Excuse me? I'm not taking that. I don't know what's in there.
You look great. Probably be a bit busy for the next few weeks.
Next few weeks? You say you just finished.
But I'll make it up to you soon, I promise.
You know, don't worry about it. Just make sure you didn't take anything. Wow, you're tall. Mm.
美版善存。
The hell are you? This is what the great democracy of the internet rewards, with over 60,000 retweets, 180,000 likes, and almost 4 million views. And why? Because it's funny, because it's well made, because it stars an international sex symbol and Tom Hiddleston. No. Because the internet is a vapid hole that values only cynicism and indulges self-obsession. It is enraging us and depressing us. It is tearing us apart, and it must be turned off for the sake of our very species. Still 4 million views. Oh, my man. Anyway. Hey, thanks a lot. See you later.
Phil Wang. Phil Wang, everyone, using this platform to promote his online presence. The first speaker for the negative team is an award-winning comedian who has performed in many countries at the same time. She is a female comedian. Most internet entries seem to think this is important. Welcome, negative team leader, Felicity Ward.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much. And thank you, Phil, for such a spirited opening argument. You know, after listening to that, I can actually really understand why he'd want to turn off the internet. This is available on there. I don't know about turning off the internet, but you've turned me off. Very successfully. That poor hula hoop.
I'm not allowed to teach at that school anymore.
They don't call him Phil Wang for nothing. Anyway, and it is good to see that the dick pills arrived. So good evening. Good evening, Your Highness Claire Hooper, the opposition team of stinkholes and distinguished guests. Yeah, I'm keeping that up there for a while, by the way. So, Phil, you can have a good, long, hard think about what you've done. The topic of debate is that we should turn off the internet. My name is Felicity Ward, and we, the negative team, believe that that statement is false. Thank you and good night. More? A little bit more, okay. We will argue that life without the internet is unbearable, that apps have made our lives brilliant and more efficient, that social media has brought us together, and that YouTube has given the emotionally stunted a pathway to previously suppressed feelings. Now, the opposition will try to tell you that the internet is a scourge on society and how it's given birth to hate groups and addiction and blah, blah, blah. We get it, you're a bunch of downers. And hypocrites, actually. Like, just look at them all lined up like the joy thieves that they are. You're all too young to even remember life without the internet. How did you prepare for the debate tonight? With your memory? With Encyclopedia Britannica? No, you did what we all do before an argument. You Googled it. But let's entertain their vile idea for a while. Let's look at life without the internet, shall we? Let's go back to the dark ages of communication. Now, I've been in 3 long-distance relationships. They've all ended, the last one sadly in marriage. And none of those relationships could have survived without our friend Skype. Now, sure, when you use Skype, it will always freeze on the ugliest face that you're capable of pulling, and then occasionally it freezes and then repeats the last half second of action you've taken, so your face is down in the corner just going, someone's looking at you going, and just 2 people's being maniacs to each other. But I would take that every day over the week over the harrowing experience of buying a calling card from the corner shop. We used to have to buy credit for our phone, and we would scratch away the metallic panel and then use a landline if Mum wasn't using it, or worse, a phone box like a disappointing Time Lord to call someone overseas for 3.5 minutes. And in the middle of a very intense personal chat about a family member receiving some news about terminal illness, you'd hear, "You have 1 minute remaining." This team wants to tear my family apart. This team wants to tear my marriage apart. They say turn off the internet as if it's just on your laptop. No, no internet means no internet on your phone too. Now, I have a question for every person in this room. When was the last time you did a shit without your phone? Answer in your heads, I don't want to hear. Thank you. I have irritable bowel syndrome, so I spend more time on the toilet than I do at work. Should I just live without my phone too? Should I just sit on what am I supposed to do with my hands? Just put them on my knees, just stare at the wall? Just like a boarding school, primary school picture? They deprive someone suffering with a syndrome the light relief of entertainment in the midst of a cramping liquid hell. Now who sounds like a hate group? If you turn the internet off, you pull the plug on everything that's good. Won't somebody think of the apps? Like, I can be wearing 2 watches, but I will still check my clock on my phone. What time is it? It's time to never rely on my Casio F5901. Now, what about the humanitarian work done by our friends on the ASOS app? This life-saving charity have taken the humiliation of trying on clothes in department store prison cubicles and moved them to the comfort of our own homes. ASOS means no one's interrupting me in the middle of a retail cry with, "Need any help in there? I don't know, do you have anything to fit my crippling low self-esteem, Denise?" And I can't do this in a shopping centre, can I? I did not think this through. But there is an app that has genuinely changed my life. Up until 18 months ago, I have literally never known when my period was coming. Never. Every month, It's just been like, oh, I'm so grumpy, what's that? Oh, my period is happening right now. Or, oh my God, I haven't had my period for what feels like 7 weeks. Oh my God, oh my God, my period is happening right now. Every single month. But then I downloaded an app, it's called a period tracker, which makes it sound like a bounty hunter. Let's get that uteral lining. But the thing is, there's so many of them. There's an app called Glow, there's an app called Flow, anything with the word ow in it, basically. And I had no idea before this app. I thought ovulation week was the first week of university. No surprises here. I didn't go to university. Now, I'm sure our friends over here, they're going to focus on the ills of social media, but it can be a beautiful space to heal and connect people. In 2014, Australian cricketer Philip Hughes died, and people paid tribute to him by putting their cricket bats outside their houses and businesses and institutions. They took photos. It was heartwarming, and they put it on Twitter with the hashtag #PutOutYourBats. What was also heartwarming was 12 months later, when former Prime Minister Tony Abbott was ousted in yet another leadership spill, and Twitter came out in force with the hashtag #PutOutYourOnions to commemorate his time as leader, and also that time he bit into an onion as if it were a piece of fruit, like the absolute mad cunt that he is. And guys, are we supposed to live in a world without entertaining or instructional videos? I can't believe I'm saying this. I was 25 when YouTube started. I know, I look incredible for my age. I'm 75. But before YouTube makeup tutorials were ever uploaded, I used to look like this. Now, after watching a tutorial, I look like this. Doesn't my hair look beautiful? Why would you want to imagine a world without YouTube? How else are we meant to cry without military dad surprises daughter in emotional homecoming? Or military dog lies on owner's grave every day for a year? Or military husband, they're mostly military videos, to be fair. The only problem is once you've seen a few of them, it's like grief porn, like you need more. Like I need them to cry immediately, like maybe fall to the floor, like I want to hear a sobbing mother say, "I thought you were dead." And P.S., if you're going to do the surprise like Dad in a Christmas box, make sure that your kids are old enough to be able to cry with joy. I don't want to... There's too many videos out there. Some dumb little prick, they open the present, they're like, "Oh, it's Daddy," and then they look at their mum with this gormless face. I'm like, no, mate, I need fucking more than that. Don't waste my time. I have a lifetime of dysfunctional and trapped emotions that I need to unleash in the privacy of my own home. I need this.
Okay, are you ready? Yes. 1, 2, 3, open it!
Merry Christmas!
Get it. Get it. Wait for the scream. Sob, mate. Yeah, you suck it up. That's what I'm talking about. Viral moments on the internet have shaped our day-to-day lives. They give us breath from the onslaught of the 24-hour news cycle of horror. Who could forget when a brave young boy raised over $55,000 on Kickstarter to make a potato salad? Life without the internet would be like one giant family reunion, just forced to talk to people you don't know and you don't like. Face to face, waiting for a lift from someone that's probably too drunk to drive, but you don't have a choice because they want to take Uber away. The internet is a life support, and we're all connected. And they're asking us to switch off that life support. We had something back in the 90s called being bored. It was terrible. Don't make us go through that again. Sure, the internet has its problems, its glitches, its malfunctioning dark spots, so maybe you're half right. Maybe we could meet in the middle. Maybe we could just do what the IT people ask. We could try turning it off and on again. Thank you very much.
Felicity Ward. Here's another internet intro. The second speaker of the affirmative was born in Newcastle in 1990 and then again in 1991. His name is spelled R-H-Y-S, R-E-E-C-E, or R-Y-T-H. He is a...
That's cheap. I enjoyed it.
He invented the term hump day. Please welcome Rhys Nicholson!
Thank you. Thank you, Claire. And Felicity, I really enjoyed the jeans thing, and I'm only saying that so it's harder for them to edit it out. Hello there. Look, tonight you're going to hear a bunch of amazing arguments from my team, and probably from these dweebs over here too. Phil has already told us about the destructive capabilities of the internet on a macro level, but I would like to take you down a more personal path. I was invited last year to my 10-year high school reunion, which is crazy because I'm 22. Hurts my feelings. I got an email from a girl I went to school with, Christine. Everyone knows a Christine. We all went to school with a Christine. She was in every single student council, every group. And now when you see, you're like, that's a very tight ponytail, Christine. It's so I feel something. All right, Christine. Christine said that they were having a 10-year high school reunion and I should come. The problem is, Christine, I'm of the generation who grew up on the internet. My whole life is online. I've been having a high school reunion every day for the past 10 years. It's called Facebook. Everyone's got Coles vouchers. It's very impressive. Reunions used to be you didn't see people for 10 years and then you all met up and you just lied. You just lied and you lied. You made a little, like, did a little play called This Is How I Wish Things Had Turned Out. The internet keeps everything, though. No longer can we be whoever we want to be. You turn up to a reunion, you can't say things like, oh, I wish my husband could have been here, but he's been working a lot in Switzerland at the UN. Everyone knows you work at Hoyts, Renee. Saw you there, 2 for Tuesday. The internet has created a personal and permanent backstory that none of us can escape. Since the invention of Twitter, like an ABC comedy program, we are all moments away from being cancelled. I could have gone a lot harsher with that joke, but I didn't want to lose friends. It is for this reason, and for this reason only, I believe we need to shut this shit down. You look at me in my fine suits and my natural-looking face, and again, hurts my feelings. You think he must have always been this hip. No. Look at that face. I look like I went to the barber, held up a broken bowl and said, I want to look like this. Fun fact, I repeated a grade in primary school. I repeated year 1. Marinate in that for a second. What was happening in year 1 that little Rhys couldn't quite grasp onto? It's just like a room full of children quietly colouring in. I was just licking a window. Like, I don't... It was the public school system. They probably just let me do it. We put some Windex in his mouth. He does the whole school. It's great. But that picture exists forever on the internet, much like this one. That's me at age 12 when apparently I was a lesbian. I look like I live on a yam farm with my life partner, Barb. That's never going away. Much like this one. You may remember me from the Barley 9. Everyone knows you work at Hoyts, Renee. The internet has taken away our ability to write our own narrative. How can you pretend to be the smartest person in the room when people have access to the truth? Without the internet, we as a species can take back our lives and our truths. We can be whoever we feel we are. For example, a quick Google search would prove that my parents are Michelle and Sean Nicholson. They're very lovely people. But really, it's not really much of an origin story for me. Not enough drama. How about this? This is a drawing I did of my parents, Kathy Freeman and Ned Kelly. Much more fun, a little bit more exciting to talk about. The internet keeps everything. She's a hoarder and we need to have an intervention. I've known this for years and I've prepared myself. I've never sent a dick pic. I've never sent a single dick pic, not to a person or an institution, once ANZ, but they started it. All that talk of deposits and maximum income. Anyway, sorry, I think I'm having a breakdown. I've never looked at my dick and thought, this needs an audience. I looked at it once and thought, I wonder what she's thinking right now. My dick is a beautiful young woman, much like a young Meryl Streep. But picture of her on the train. But have you noticed this? I've been sent dick pics before by men. It's always men, and they. You notice this? They always send a picture of dicks. They always come, but it's never like it's never just like the dick and nothing else. Men seem to always involve like a household item. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's always like a bottle of detergent or something. I guess it's like a size ratio thing to give you like an aspect. You find yourself zooming in on the mills. Like, what are we working with? You know? Hope it's not a Coles toy. But I got sent a dick pic years ago by this guy, and it wasn't just his dick, it was his dick and a TV remote. And I'll be honest, I fucked that guy. But not because of his dick. I was like, ooh, he's got Foxtel. You know, I was like, ooh. Doing pretty well for himself. Turns out he lived with his mum. Anyways, we don't need to talk about it. Without the internet, our lives would be much easier and less embarrassing. I'll leave you on this story. I travel a lot, and Felicity kind of talked about this a little bit. I travel a lot. I spent 3 months last year in the UK, and my partner, Kyron, which you're wondering where that name's from, it's a Celtic name. It means born in Perth. And you know, we were away for 3 months, and we have needs, desires, and we decided we might involve ourselves in some Skype sex, which I've never been on board with the idea of Skype sex, because before I have sex, I never want to have to do admin. And you gotta like log on and like, before I have an orgasm, I don't want to have to pick which one of these 6 boxes has a picture of a bridge in it, you know? It's like, seems too much work. And there's a lot of rules you learn very quickly with Skype sex as well. Like, first of all, don't start naked. Because narratively, you can't go anywhere with that. And also, you don't know if they've got people over. You're like, oh, surprise! Oh, happy birthday. Wish I was there. But we decided we'd try and do it. And you learn very quickly, first of all, the positioning of Skype sex is quite difficult. Like, can you remember the old days? Webcams used to be like separate to the computer, and you could kind of, you had a concept of cinematography. You might put a nightie over a lamp or something. Ooh, a bit of mood. But now these days, it's just like the camera's just inside the laptop, and so all you can really do, I was in like this shitty hotel room in London, all you can really do is like I'm on a bed, and like the laptop's like there. All you can do is like, you can try and lay like that, and it's gonna hurt your arms after a while. That's just reversed, and you're like, oh, I'm surprised. No, all you can do is just like, just like legs around the laptop, as if they're watching a documentary about the bottom of the ocean. You know, it's just like, are they barnacles? And we were doing it, and it was going fine, and he was like the main bit of the screen, and that was quite nice, right? But then there was this little rectangle down the bottom, and that was me. And I wanted that to go away, ASAP, as soon as possible. So I clicked on it, and didn't have the desired effect. There was like, that Skype noise, like that noise, a kind of organic yet electronic noise, and then suddenly I was the main thing. I tell you what, guys, you have not lived until you've made eye contact with yourself. It's just like the glow of the screen on my little pale body, just this grizzled over golem, just like, I hope the government's watching. And then, because of the shitty internet, my screen froze. True story. And I remember just the vision of it, just trying to put this image together in my head. It's burnt into my brain, and I remember thinking, we've got to shut this fucking internet down. Thank you very much.
Rhys Nicholson! Taking a punt there that the vision of him having Skype sex is enough to convince everyone to turn the internet off.
How dare you? Thank you.
Was that the second time in your life you found yourself licking a window? All right, back to the negative. Tom Allen is a minor character from Agatha Christie's Murder in Mesopotamia. His long list of TV credits include Live at the Apollo, 8 out of 10 Cats Do Countdown, The Great British Bake Off, and Extra Slice, and Agatha Christie's Murder in Mesopotamia. Tom Allen, everyone!
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. Hello. Hello, everybody. Thank you very much. This is a section of the show we like to call Gays in Suits. How do they get us in here? Are they serving brunch? Are there small puppies backstage? Yes, all of that. And so much interesting conversation about the teams and about positive and negative. And as a gay man who grew up in the 80s and 90s, may I say that is very stressful indeed. We even make each other laugh. So, the internet. A world without the internet is, of course, a world without inspiration. We can now listen to podcasts and think we actually understand the facts of a criminal case better than a courtroom. Imagine if we went back to bowing to actual experts. How tedious that would be. We can have strong, angry opinions on things we don't need to fully read up on. Do you remember how boring it was to read sometimes an entire paragraph? And now, because of the internet, we know about things like mindfulness, which, as of course we all know, is really just breathing and thinking about your legs. But what could be more inspiring than a TED Talk? Yes, the best way to feel smug and, more importantly, superior. And so here is my version of one. That's right, it's a Tom Talk. That's right, someone worthy, telling you a mixture of hard facts, pop psychology, and upbeat personal anecdotes. Anecdotes with a sad tinge. So, since Sir Tim Berners-Lee first created the internet by doing whatever it is he did, the world really hasn't looked back. But it's also why I never got to say goodbye to my family. The internet has done so much for us, more than we can acknowledge, aside from all the boring stuff like information and teaching people in the developing world how to do operations and that. More importantly, what about all the anonymous hookups? Yes, gays very much led the way with so much of the internet, and they used it to find people to sleep with. They found ways of letting other gays know they existed. Before the internet, people had to go around asking, "Are you gay?" "Excuse me, are you gay?" Door to door. It was exhausting. Sometimes people had to use stereotypical cliched codes, like a brimmed fedora, for example. Perhaps they constantly talked about Liza Minnelli wearing leather chaps. There was a comma in that there. To the best of my knowledge, Liza Minnelli never wore leather chaps. And also, we should bear in mind, it was exhausting because in warmer climes, leather chaps make a really undignified sound when you stand up from leather chairs. Now, it's not just homos like Rhys and I. People who don't fit in as part of the heteronormative maelstrom now can find one another. It extends to people obsessed with things like sci-fi, science fiction, or as we used to call them, sad cases, loons, and divs. Now they can feel less alone. The internet doesn't just put us in touch with others, it puts us in touch with ourselves, often quite literally. It helps you to get to know yourself, and I'm not just talking about BuzzFeed quizzes that tell you which Sex and the City character you are. Though if you must know, I'm actually the entire city of New York. How would the furry community know they like dressing up as Kermit the Frog and doing it if they hadn't had the internet? It's not always easy being keen on green. And everybody knows that's ridiculous. Gonzo's clearly the more sexual one. Now you can just Google the word sexy before any noun until you find something that really turns you on. Sexy photocopier. Sexy lasagna. Sexy velociraptor. And no, I don't mean Sarah Jessica Parker. But hello, maybe you just found your first kink. And if only those dinosaurs had had the internet and had found themselves more sexy, they'd still be around today. Really gives you something to think about, doesn't it? People aren't just learning to make themselves better from things like TED. They're learning how to get better at sex through the plethora of what I like to call instructional videos. Videos that are available online for everybody. Of course, we can't show any of them here. This is a family show. But here are some stills which we have made acceptable for this formal situation. Pause. It's filth. Disgusting. My favorite. Before the internet, people didn't even know how to have sex. I mean, or if they did, they had to rely on old-fashioned means of conveying information, waiting for days for a letter or a telegram, or relying on people to tell them about it, something we now call the oral tradition. And if you couldn't get to that, your best other option would be something like an opera. Favorites, as we know, are things like The Ring Cycle, Madam Butterfly, and of course, The Magic Flute. I mean, we really have learned so much. I mean, internet dating for me has really changed so many things. Things like Grindr and Gaydar. I don't know if you know what Grindr is. It's an application for your iPhone which tells you where your nearest gay man is. I mean, you really don't need it now. We're here, but... It's an application which tells you where your nearest gay man is. Something, I mean, I never was sure if it was going to work for me. It's usually got a picture of a man with his top off, taken in his bathroom mirror on his phone. And I sort of thought it would probably never work for me when I found myself ignoring the person in the photograph and started judging him instead on the bathroom around him. Dreadful tiling. I don't think we'd have anything in common at all. Looking at his products, Lynx Africa. What is this, 1996? He's probably got a Hotmail account and everything. But that's the sort of thing you can learn from the internet. Similar experiences I've had. Once somebody started a conversation with me on one of those apps by sending me a photograph of their asshole. What are you supposed to respond to that? I put, "What an opening." I'm meeting him for dinner next week. I don't know how I'm going to recognize him. Not you, you're far too relaxed. And, For the internet, you wouldn't have known, would you? So, oh yes, luckily it's not all about others. Mainly the internet is about self-improvement. Time was, if your washing machine broke down, you had to get someone else to come out and fix it for you. Now you can take things into your own hands by going online and buying yourself a new one while you look up on Google Maps a nearby ravine to throw the old one into. Fitness bloggers. Since I started following a lot of fitness bloggers on Instagram, I've really toned and shaped my ability to hate them. And of course, self-empowerment. People power. The internet lets us voice our opinions on things that matter to us. And sure, we make mistakes, but for every reciprocating clusterflub like Brexit, there is a moment of beauty, peace, and transcendence, like when they put out an election to name a boat and people decided to call it Boaty McBoatface. People can finally get their opinions heard and can have opinions about things that didn't even need an opinion. The best biscuits can now be ranked officially, removing our risk of ever buying something that we'd be displeased with, so that we would be over the moon and make it into an unboxing video. And in terms of political action, I recently signed a petition calling for an end to all war. Now, a lot of people just talk about this stuff, but I am actually doing something. Providing a fake email address and postcode. But to bring you all back to my original point, imagine a world without the internet, without the exchange of ideas. Ted talks, he talks so much. And as I started saying before, I never got to say goodbye to my family, because as I was traveling to the airport to come here, I was talking to them on FaceTime, and I ran out of internet data. Thank you very much indeed.
Tom Allen there. Give it up for him again. Huge fan of the oral tradition.
I thought that deserved more, actually, Claire. Thank you for bringing it up. Story of my life.
If you are looking for an object to take a dick pic next to, I suggest the sign Tom. I mean, it'll dwarf you, but it's a very confident move. Okay.
No
Here's my
comment.
penis and my name.
All right. Rosie, Waterland is a small archipelago off the coast of Wales. She has written 2 hugely popular books and is a major supplier of fresh cut flowers to the UK and Ireland. Final speaker for the affirmative, everyone, Rosie Waterland.
Thank you. Oh, hello. Thank you so much for having me. I can't tell you how thrilled I am to be here, not just because it's a great honour to grace this stage, following in the footsteps of some brilliant comedians before me and the one who did the jeans thing, but also because, make it viral, having spent 3 years writing clickbait for women's website Mamma Mia, I'm thrilled anybody believes I'm smart, funny, or even have a soul. Or at least a soul that doesn't require you to wear a $500 feminist t-shirt while shoving crystal eggs up your vag because Gwyneth Paltrow told you to. Now, as a millennial who got her start writing online, I stand here on this stage as someone who truly knows and has seen some of the worst the internet has to offer. And no, I don't just mean this.
It's actually really funny if you watch it, so...
Yeah, you know what? Let's keep it up while I'm talking, shall we? Yeah. Let's drive home how serious this is. The internet ruins everything. Online, I have borne witness to some of the most horrifying, brutal, and cruel treatment of human beings by bored mothers in the Kmart Hacks Facebook group. You think you can just go in, get some tips about how to put that marble contact paper on your kitchen cabinets and get out? No! You need to spend 3 hours defending yourself against a woman threatening to call child services because there's refined sugar somewhere in your house. You think that cheeky, racist joke uttered by a morning show host will genuinely be apologised for and learned from after intelligent online criticism? No! We need to see that joke spiral into a never-ending swamp of online opinions that swallow up humanity like the mud that swallows that horse at the end of the never-ending story. It's not too soon. We need white people offering their hot takes about racism on Twitter until we all get distracted by Pete Evans saying something a couple days later batshit crazy about sunscreen causing cancer and vaccinations being poisonous. And through all of that, we're still dealing with this. It's time for all of us to accept the cold. I don't know, how would they recognize you without the texter moustache, though? I think you're fine, don't you?
No comment.
It's time for all of us to accept the cold, hard truth that anything good created by the internet ends up being ruined by the internet. You know it's not long until Egg Boy starts doing ironic rap videos for BuzzFeed sponsored by Cotton On. Then he'll reach the pinnacle of viral success by going on Ellen, after which we'll have no use for him anymore. He'll disappear into a dungeon along with Honey Boo Boo and that kid who yodeled in the Walmart. The internet is ruining humanity. And I mean that literally Not in the way a 20-year-old dude mansplains it to his girlfriend after taking one philosophy class at uni. The internet's ruining humanity, man. Also, I love Jordan Peterson, and I don't think women are naturally funny. No, I mean in a literal sense. The internet will be the end of humanity as we know it. The human race is literally at risk of dying out completely. Babies are going to stop being born for one reason and one reason only. Internet porn is breaking the brains and dicks of men everywhere. And the neglected clits of women are shriveling away into oblivion. Now, the negative team's gay in a suit, the one who doesn't have hair that needs to be dyed red every 2 days, he tried to tell you that sex was made better by the internet? Maybe for the gays, but we have reached a point in time where men, straight men, have watched so much messed up porn, they no longer understand how to have sex unless it's through using a woman like a blow-up doll, jackhammering for less than 90 seconds, then asking her if she came too. And that's if you even get to the jackhammering, because usually while you're kissing, he tries one of these ones on you. Yeah, you know, yeah, you've done it. Men also no longer have any idea what women's bodies are even supposed to look like in real life. A little while ago, I'm 32 and I slept with a guy 10 years younger than me. Yeah, I know, it was a dream, yeah. He couldn't afford an Uber home, so I had to let him use my account. And as soon as my pants came off, he gasped and erupted into giggles because, and I quote, "Oh my God, I've never seen pubes on a girl before." Now, to be honest, because of the size of my fat upper pussy area, it had been a while since I'd seen my pubes as well. But this guy had never seen female pubes. He then proceeded to jackhammer me for 60 seconds before rolling off me and asking me how good that was. Because, thanks to growing up on internet porn, he honestly just assumed that the moment a dick enters a vag, he's done all he has to do to make a woman orgasm. No! If that was the case, I'd be moaning in pleasure every time I put a tampon in. Think about it. It takes a lot more than straight up penetration to get a woman off, and it involves one of the pictures behind me. But here's the thing. Women's brains are breaking from internet porn as well, because women are taught from watching this stuff that a man's ego is more important than anything. Yeah, that was really funny, Aaron. That video was super funny. You okay, baby?
Thank you.
Yeah. Whether or not you enjoyed it doesn't matter. As long as he can roll over, feeling like a sexual god, a lady's job is done. We are taught that if you don't stroke his ego, he might leave you for a woman who wears a $500 feminist t-shirt and shoves crystal eggs up her vag because Gwyneth Paltrow told her to. That woman definitely doesn't have pubes and probably only takes a shit once a year in a soundproof room. So, knowing that she is never going to have an orgasm and getting tired of faking it, women just start avoiding sex with their male partners altogether. You know that classic, hilarious bit every middle-aged, straight white male comedian does about his missus never wanting to have sex? Bet it's your fave. Then we pay him $20 million to star in a movie with an actress just inexplicably hotter than him. I've got something to break to that guy and to all of you. Your missus does want to have sex. She just can't be bothered doing it when she knows she's not going to have an orgasm at the end. Because, let's be honest, sex without an orgasm is just exercise. And do I look like I'm remotely interested in exercise? Women do want to get it on. They just don't want to do it with guys who are bad at it. Think about that tonight when she tells you she has a headache. Now, I understand this is a debate and therefore I need to say things like therefore and supply you with evidence and statistics to back up my point. So here's some vague anecdotal facts I heard in a podcast recently which now makes me an expert. The writer Jon Ronson made a series called The Butterfly Effect, all about the internet porn industry. And according to stuff that I'm just remembering from listening to it once, this is the first time in history that there are a significant number of young men who are experiencing erectile dysfunction. Ronson even tells a story about going to watch the filming of a porn scene in LA. He's a journalist, so it's, legit. While he's there, the female porn actor is lying on the bed, legs akimbo, just waiting to pretend she's enjoying herself. And the male porn actor was struggling to get it up to the point where he had to leave the room, leave the real-life porn star in front of him, go next door, look up Pornhub on his phone just so he could get it up. Even the actors in internet porn cannot get hard without internet porn. It is erection inception. We are meta-porning the human race into extinction. So here's the solution. We need to hand this entire mess over to the only people who are evolved enough to get anything right. The only people who are above this orgasmless bullshit. The only people we should trust with the future of the planet and the continuation of all humankind. The queer community. I don't see how you can really stay there, Tom. I think it's time. That's right, my friends. As usual, the LGBTQI people among us, of which I'm a B, have been the only ones with their shit together all along. In order to ensure our survival, we need to switch off the internet and enact some kind of reverse Handmaid's Tale situation in which we milk straight men like cows at a factory farm and just hand over the goods to deserving queer couples who'll create the ultimate race of humans who are well-dressed, actually care about pleasuring each other, play roller derby, love RuPaul's Drag Race, and know their way around a fucking Bunnings hardware store. That is the only thing that will save us all.
Rosie Waterland, if you take nothing else away from today, please take the phrase erection inception. Now, I ran out of time to write the last piece, so I'm just going to quickly Google him. So, Chen is wanted for questioning by the police for an incident in the grocery. Hang on, you know what? We're delighted to have him here. Until the police take him away, please make welcome Chen!
Do you want to go to the busiest place on earth? Where you can be whoever you want to be and say whatever you want to say? I'm not talking about New York. I'm talking about the web. Thank you so much to everyone who has debated so far, and all the points are so nice and fun to listen to. It's been such a good and fun and fair debate, and no matter who wins, I think we all had a lot of fun. Where will you be during the upcoming race war? In 2005, when I was just a child, to start a race right, you had to send a lot of text messages on a Nokia phone. But thankfully, now we have the internet. Thank you for letting me represent the team. So a bit about me. My name is Chen, or Chenny Lifestyle on Instagram. Also, just a quick shout out to my sponsors, Lockheed Martin, by far the leaders in the international arms race. And anabolic steroids, by far the leaders in my arms race. Do not follow these guys on social media. They don't even appreciate the juice that powers it, the internet. I was born into the internet. In fact, I don't really know a world without it, and I don't want to. I love the internet. The opposition, they'd say they're millennials, but they're actually extremely old. They're all older than me. And they don't understand the full potential of the internet. They also don't have integrity. I made a meme to demonstrate this. Our team actually has integrity because we are saying what we believe. And I, alongside my team, we haven't discussed this yet, but we're all going to donate all our fees to the internet. Big check coming your way, Mark Zuckerberg. Here is some, this is the rebuttal section. I do actually apologise because I thought rebuttal was a fancy word for a roast. I'm slowly realising that's not the case. But anyway, here's my rebuttals. Rhys Nicholson. He looks like a ginger. No offence. And Rosie, Waterland, is it water or is it land? Make up your mind, what are you, an amphibian? And sorry, I've never seen pubes before.
I do not doubt it. I do not doubt it.
I'm not allowed to roast Phil Wang because our parents are friends. But I did make this meme. So Phil Wang's up there with the smallest brain on.
Got that, yeah.
I'm above you. Mm-hmm. And Ando, credit where credit's due.
I'm telling your parents.
He built the lake so we could swim. Anyway, better get into the debate. Do you guys ever wonder if Bill Gates ever goes on his computer and opens up Microsoft Paint and thinks to himself, why did I make this? I was in a taxi one time and the driver said to me, he was like, did you know that Bill Gates dropped out of university? And I'd just been on Microsoft Paint and I was like, yeah, I believe that. This looks like something created by someone with a lot of time and not a lot of formal education. But before the internet, Microsoft Paint was the best thing on the computer. Think about that. I mean, before the internet, people had to entertain themselves by watching TV programs like The Great Debate. Now, with all the content we have, I would never watch The Great Debate. Let alone pay $38 to $59 to see it. Bit of a rebuttal on you guys. But now we have the internet. Did you know on the internet you can watch any TV show from any part of the world? You just get your friend in another country to take a video of the TV show they're watching and then send you an email of it. But what better way of convincing you that the internet is good than to show you all the ways I spend my time on the internet? On internet, there is immense beauty. Hey, hello, how's it going? On the internet, you can also be inspired by like-minded people.
What up, boys? What's good? Greg here, and I want to make a couple points today. So, you decided to take on NoFap. You decided to take control of your life.
If you guys don't know what NoFap is, it's the community of like-minded brothers, and we don't masturbate. And because of it, we're like superheroes. And please grow up, it's 2019, it's all about semen retention. Sorry. On the internet, you can also discover new music.
You was at the club, bottoms up when I first met you, couldn't get enough. Had to get you straight to my bedroom.
You can look at pictures of the Shawshank Redemption's DVD cover. At the click of a button, you can see a photo of the cover of the DVD of Shawshank Redemption. In real life, to see this would cost hundreds of dollars, as you would need to buy extremely rare DVD versions of Shawshank Redemption. But the way I did it only cost $6.70 at the internet cafe / money exchange, where I got a great deal and saw hundreds of images of Shawshank Redemption DVDs and took a few digital detours, and no, I did not masturbate. Thank you. The man working at the store even let me print a picture of a Shawshank Redemption DVD cover for only 30 cents. And you can buy DMT off the dark web. Okay, Anyway, I go on the internet every day, sometimes even up to 30 minutes. That's how much I like it. Only in 3 occasions in my life have I met up with someone from the internet who is vastly different to who they say they are. Oh well. But at least it balances out with the amount of girlfriends I have in North America who are financially dependent upon me. This is a photo of one of my girlfriends sent to me of her and her brother. Apparently her brother's quite a famous spy, so... And these guys, they don't have any internet girlfriends, so... In conclusion, thank you for listening, and I'll see you all on Google.
Chen. Okay. We are now going to hear one more time from each of the team leaders. So first, please welcome back team leader for the affirmative, Phil Wang.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, very interesting arguments we've heard tonight. But for a rebuttal of my own, what can I say about tonight's negative side? The most uninspiring threesome since the one I had last night with both my hands. I mean, just look at them. Tom Allen, a rejected audition for Boss Baby the musical. Felicity Ward, who today has kindly taken time off cursing Macbeth with her sisters. And Aaron Chen, who is really just me far away. Felicity was up first, and she accused me of doing my research for turning off the internet on Google. Well, I didn't. I made it all up. She then wriggled on the floor in ill-fitting jeans, trying to make a case for the internet, but instead making a case for mental health funding. Tom Allen gave us a TED Talk about the history of queer culture, and just like every TED Talk, I didn't really understand it. But I will pretend that I did. He also broke my trust by telling a room full of strangers about a photo I sent him in the strictest confidence. And it wasn't an asshole, it was a Chinese New Year firework. And then there was Aaron Chen, whose blatant disrespect for an elder has made the next reunion picnic / mahjong orgy very awkward. My friends, my compatriots on the team made wonderful arguments for turning off the internet. The permanent nature of the internet means we have lost the right to be forgotten, as we heard from Rhys Nicholson. The internet is even taking jobs. As Rosie said, internet porn is ruining sex, and that was my job. But, my fellow Australians, to you I say this: the internet must be turned off. What was once an innocent distraction is now a self-inflicted weapon of mass destruction, facilitating the rise of despots, the breakdown of society, and the end of reasoned debate. It is the greatest threat our planet has ever faced, but we can do something about it. You have the power to free yourselves from the web. Relearn the habits of old. Write your father a letter. Send a friend a postcard. Actually go to the house of someone you disagree with and leave a bag of flaming dog shit on their doorstep, as our ancestors did. Form an opinion you believe in, not one you were tweeted. Enjoy a sunset with a loved one, not a filter. And yes, shake your naked ass in the mirror, but for yourself. Brothers and sisters, it is not too late. We can rediscover the joys of a life unplugged, a life logged out. All it takes is a leap of faith. So, bring out the wood chipper. Yes, the humble wood chipper, the only technology I need. Join me. The revolution starts here. Break your chains. Be done with your slave master. You have nothing to lose but your phone, and nothing to gain but your souls. I feel better already. Join me. Cast off your chains. Cast off your ironclad chains, and together we will build a new world.
I wouldn't.
No, I wouldn't.
Definitely don't.
I think I've got a match. I've got a match.
Yeah, no, I think so.
That's a wood chipper, Phil.
No, Philly, no.
It should still be.
It's Phil's OHS. This doesn't seem worth it.
Can someone Google this? Okay, no more.
Realistic blood.
No more threesomes for me. Thank you very much. Good night.
Yep. The glorious Phil Wang, everyone! All right, and now to wrap up for the negative team, please welcome team leader Felicity Wang!
I hope this is worth it.
Doesn't look like it's going to be, does it? Tell me something, Phil. Do you ever just Netflix and chill? And Rhys, do you use apps? Etsy, Pinterest, and Google Maps, the internet. It's had some bad times, I'll give you that, Rosie. Some dark shit. But then the good times redeems itself. I learnt the chords for this yesterday and I think it shows. Tell me something, Siri. Was that recording saying Laurel or Yanni?
Did you want to see a recording of Laurel and Hardy?
No. eBay, we all use it to try and sell all of our useless shit. The internet, we're all addicted, I'll give you that. Accept it. Let's just be honest about our online selves. I took a selfie, I used a filter. I'll never look my real age. Upload the photos, comments, like, shares. Oh, more followers on my page. We are shallow, shallow. We are shallow, shallow, shallow. We are shallow, shallow. We are very shallow now. You know, there can be 100 people in the room and 99 don't believe in you. And it just takes one to believe in you. Or maybe two. Actually, there's 101 people in the room. I got the maths wrong. Are you ready for this, boys? Oh. That's it. You can take a knee now. Take a knee. You can take a knee. Maybe ditch Facebook so boomers can't hurt us. I'll never leave the gram. Twitter, I love that, but what the fuck, Snapchat? But now I sound like my nan. We are shallow, shallow. We are shallow, shallow, shallow. We are shallow, shallow. We are very shallow now. Thank you very much.
Worth it. Worth it.
Thank you so much. I'm so relieved.
Well, what have we learned?
Nothing.
Tonight. Put my book in Phil Wang's blood. Okay. What have we learned tonight? We've learnt what most of our speakers do in the toilet. We've learnt which of our speakers can sing. And Frank, we've learnt that a number of our speakers today will have to burn their laptops after the research they did for today's debate. We've also learnt that a race war is coming, so that's great news.
It's early next year.
Okay. My good friends, it is now over to you. Look to your hearts. Try and remember what the topic is. I'll remind you. You might have forgotten. Should we turn off the internet? Do you give it to the affirmatives today? Is it the negative? What? Well, you're wrong. We're turning it off anyway. Let's go. No, I'm sorry. You can't be trusted with this decision. This is just like Brexit and Donald Trump all over again. All right. Oh, hang on a sec. No, hang on. Sorry. What's it? Oh, that's not any of my stuff. Yeah, okay. Maybe we'll, do you know what? Look, it hasn't worked right now, but we are going to get it done. What we'll do, you know what? We'll get tech onto it. It will be a really long wait on the call line tonight, but we'll get onto the phones. We'll get it happening. In the meantime, can you please thank everyone from the affirmative team? Phil Wang, Rhys Nicholson, Rosie, Waterland. And our victors, the negative team, Felicity, Tom Allen, Chen. Get on, guys. This has been the 30th annual Melbourne International Comedy Festival. Great debate. Thank you so much for coming. We'll see you again next year.